Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 3rd of October, 2015. The moon today is at the very final portion, within the last 5 degrees, at the time that I always do these lunar scopes for, of the sign of Gemini. And as it is in the final portion of the sign of Gemini, it will also be making its way through the nakshatra of Mrigasira. You know, the longer I do astrology, the more deeply convinced I become that, yes, while there is such a thing as free will on one level is a decision, right, that the individual is making. But that free will is also an illusion, because really when it boils down to it, there is nothing that can happen outside of the will of the universe or outside of the will of God, however you choose to look at it, right? So even if you don't believe in a God, if you believe in a universe, if you believe in the higher self, if you believe in your soul, well, there's nothing that can happen outside of the realm of divine will, whatever that will might be for you, right? Because if we take on board the concept of an energy being omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, well, then it has to be everywhere at all times. So it's within you. So even the fact that you're making a decision, well, that's the will of the universe, and that's the will of God. So why am I going on this big, long spiritual ramble that's full of hot air? Well, because it's quite likely that you want something really badly at the moment, okay? And you're determined to get it. And, you know, sometimes we can get into those positions where we're determined to get something and it actually works out our way. And then sometimes we get in those positions where we're determined to get something and it doesn't work out our way, right? So when it works out that way, well, sure, that's meant to happen. When it doesn't work out that way, well, that also is meant to happen. Right? If we come up against a brick wall very egotistically, well, that's meant to happen because there's something that we're meant to learn from it, right? If we have awareness, we're always going to learn. If we pay attention, it's always going to work out well. But we can choose to be a willing participant. We can choose to be a co-creator of our own destiny by cooperating with the signs and signals when we're able to pick up on them, okay? So if it's actually not beneficial for you to have something today, are you going to be willing to accept that and go with the flow? Or will you arrogantly resist? So with pride, there's usually prejudice, right? And that prejudice usually in circumstances like this is against what the universe wants for you. You've got a prejudgment. That's what prejudice is. You think things should be a certain way. Well, things may not be that way. But if you're able to be humble and have open eyes, then comes receptivity. Then likely comes a lesson, but with that lesson, you get shown what is ultimately of the most benefit to you, right in this particular moment. So open your eyes today to that which is making itself obvious to you. Save the tilting at windmills for another day when the windmills are less likely to tilt back at you. Mrigasira is a moksha-driven nakshatra. It longs for fulfillment. There's the concept of fulfillment, but that fulfillment is driven by an impulse of moksha, wanting to be free of a circumstance where there's no fulfillment. So there's a dissatisfaction, and things are kind of taken apart, dissected, and put back together again and tried all over again, right? But with the energy today, it's quite likely that your eyes on one level are closed when they should be open. However, along with that, the lunar tithi today is Krishna Saptami. And with this particular energy, if you yourself are approaching a situation, if you approach the situation with awareness, if you take a friendly viewpoint to that which is being shown to you, right? If you approach your interactions with others from a space of humility where you're willing to listen rather than to just do all the talking all the time, then you're likely going to be shown something which is ultimately very, very beneficial to you. The solar lunar yoga today is Variyas. Variyas means best. And with this particular energy, you're fired up to get something. right? And so you're willing to do your best. You're really going to try to put forward your best effort. But guess what? That's not going to do it. What is going to do it? Well, if you want to be best at something, be best at keeping your eyes open, be best at keeping your ears open, and above all else, be the best at keeping your heart open. If you're dealing with a difficult situation, I should mention that I do offer several different tiers of astrological service, and I've recently revised my astrological services page to make it more adjustable to each individual's needs, dependent upon how many questions they may have. If you'd like, you can visit my astrological services page by clicking on the link. Click on the little eye up there and it'll open up a link if the link isn't already available to you, and that'll take you to my astrological services page. In addition, a predictive level course is going to be starting. It's the first module of a predictive course that starts on the 10th of October. This course is going to go on until the spring in several different modules. You can join the course by module. I recommend, if you're going to do the course, that you definitely start with the first module though. And what this course does is teaches you how, using Vedic astrology, to narrow an event window down to a day or two, and then predict something down to within a day or so. If you'd like more information on that course and how you can register, again, the little eye in the upper right-hand corner of the video will guide you in the right direction. That's going to do it for your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 3rd of October, 2015. Until next time, please take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.